Heck yes. Let's get it. Alright. So we're just gonna jump right into it today, everybody. Let's see how long I can go here. So, today, because new updates, ooh, I should look at it, honestly. New updates in Darktide, so we're going to be able to craft weapons now. I hope it's just the same system as in Vermintide now, which would be amazing. And hello, Omnisaya, are you there? But while we're waiting for this, I'm going to be trying to talk about the history of this universe and just how much and just why we love the Imperium so much, you know?
It should be cared for
as a good preacher should. Okay, so yes, there's all this. What is... Do I have to go somewhere else? Is that what's happening? Somewhere else. Alright.
Omnisaya shield you, varlet.
I could just be dumb. Could be.
Let us scour away old scars and awaken new purpose. Okay. Question mark. I'm not hating that. Alright. I just need to grind. Alright, shit. Okay. Well, shit. Okay. Well, let's go. Now you're sitting here trying to understand it more when we don't got anything to do with it.
Greetings, operative.
We got nothing to work with.
Sold.
Don't care, yeah, whatever. Down to the green. What? That's okay. Grass. Yeah. What is going on? That's not bad. What the hell? Anyway.
Processing.
What is this? Ah. Interesting. Alright. Let's go. Take that. Only one pattern of flamer. I suppose. Don't need too many patterns. No, I don't want a bolter. give me the melee one like right off the bat, but this one, come on. I see how it's gonna be. Yeah, I gotta chill out. Alright, let me go. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I can get rid of it, I guess. Oh yeah, get him out, get him out. I don't want to see any. Alright. Honestly, I think we just get rid of this, right? I could take that. I don't know though. I'll keep it for now. And these. Oh yeah, that's nice. Whatever. Alright. Yes, we should probably check this out. Make sure we're doing what we need to be doing.
Please, I
Ah,
have no
okay.
wish to share your enviable aroma.
Oh, you chill out. Do you have any good stuff, unlike all of the time, apparently? Not bad. Double class sword though, so yeah, who cares? Yeah. Yeah, see, lackluster, as always.
I'll be
Get rid of
interested
this.
to see how you get on.
Any new cosmetics? Did they drop the Ogren skin yet?
Don't be shy, darling. I don't bite.
Nah. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. Alright.
Kill a heretic for me, yeah?
Let's get right into it then. Alright. So, we're gonna play Assassination. Are we assassinating? I think we're assassinating. Where's the other three? Oh, there it is. Yeah, we're doing this. Anyway, though. The Alright, so within the 41st millennium, there were these things living within the stars, the primordial stars, called Catan. And they're just essentially beings that formed from the void, parasitic creatures that formed from the void that feed off of stars and are thus powered by them, thus essentially just being star beings themselves. But you know, it is what it is. They just exist throughout the universe, however closely or far from each other that is.
Forthcoming assignment designation. Sanction Redactors. Location Hub Zone HL 1866. You are to proceed to Judicial Enforcement Station TN8707.
And they're just, they don't interact with many things. outside of just stars and things like that. So, well, not much is known about them, but next to come up in the history of the universe are the old ones. Now, outside of lore, our best guess is lizard people, or some sort of reptilian. But we have no idea, actually. And they're the reason a lot of life, if not, yeah, it's not all, it's most. I should say most life. Most life is in the universe within the 41st millennium. If not like half. I'd imagine a little more. But, so they had a great understanding of genetics, and they were just pretty much gods on a fundamental level as far as creating other races and just doing just out of this world shit. Just out of this world shit all around. I know, long ride, right? Anyway. So they eventually start interacting with this thing called the warp, which, as the psyker sitting next to me is very aware of, hurts a lot, and in these days it didn't. But, the warp is a mirror reality in a way, to the real plane. Oh, did I crash? Damn. Come on, why you crashing? Yeah, I want to reconnect. But yeah, no, so in the early days, the warp was very tame and very simple in a way. Still more complicated than the real plane, but as I was saying, it's a mirror of us. So the thing that fuels it a lot, or fully, I suppose, is the emotions of the beings on this plane. Now this gets complicated because some beings have more of a resonance in the warp than others, and this just means that those beings are more psychically connected, which could mean they're just more emotional in a way also, but we'll leave that to your interpretation. Oh my lord, really? What's happening? What's happening, Captain?
Forthcoming assignment designation. Sanction Redactors. Location Hub Zone HL 1866. You are to proceed to judicial enforcement station TN.
So especially in the early days,
with utmost efficiency.
look at it kind of like another space. Just eventually that space is going to become a lot more dangerous for plenty of reasons. And I disconnected again. Why am I disconnecting? Oh no, I'm back. Let's go. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Alright, sorry. So, after that warp exploration. Their next race that came onto the scene was a small race called the Necrontyr. And this was the universe's first attempt at a sick joke, quite literally. Lagging, sorry.
Redemption claims ye!
So this was a very small race in a... I believe their planet was very near to its star. So it was a very irradiated planet, and the race didn't live past a few decades, really. Very sickly, very thin. So the only buildings that they really built were tombs, because the only thing that they were confronted with all day, every day, was their race dying, which is fun, to say the least. So all of their societies were built around giant tombs and giant tomb worlds eventually, which will come in handy for reasons. Ow. Get off him. Get off him. Get off him.
Here to hit armor.
Alright. Where was I? Necrontyr, yes. They...
The ascender will take some time to arrive. Survival is recommended.
The old ones eventually ran into them. And the Necrontyr, seeing that the old ones had, like, the ability to be immortal and all this crazy stuff, were like, yo, can we get some of that? And the old ones, obviously being kind of wary of a race they just found in the universe and don't necessarily want it to have that much power immediately, were like, I don't know, bro. I don't think you get this shit. Or you could interpret it that the old ones were just being a-holes and were like, yeah, no, this is our shit, so get your own. But either way, the Necron, embittered by this, were, instead of being fueled by depression, were now fueled by hatred, got off their sorry asses, got out into the universe, and ran into the Catan, where the Catan... the real a-holes, I suppose, made a deal with the Necrontyr that... Because the Necrontyr proved to them that they could use their living metal, which is just thrown in there randomly, and we don't really know where it comes from. But it's dope, because it's essentially just biological metal. So it's probably just a biological life form we're unaware of to some extent. But, to some extent, to most extents. But they built bodies and things like that for the Catan to inhabit, kind of like avatars. And, yeah, they then proposed a deal to the Necrontyr that they could give them immortality by putting them in similar suits of living metal, and, yeah, so, and then also, like, gave the upper class of Necrons, like, remote controls, essentially, to the rest of the lower Necrontyr. Now this had a variety of effects, and it's obviously very not clear on exactly what is taken. Like, obviously the biological, like, the biomass was taken and all that, and, like, the soul or whatever is transferred into the body. But it's not really clear on, like, how much of, like, the quote-unquote soul, or, like, I guess, like, the ability to be a psyker was taken from them, so I suppose you could say their soul, in a way, was taken from them. But, again, this is just all my speculation, and should not be taken as the Emperor given truth. And please do not report it as such. I did not tell you any of this anyway, if you are questioned, so shush. We are in the midst of battle. We're probably not going to make it back anyway. It's fine. So we all just need to learn in our final moments here. Oh, sorry, where was I?
Hold your breath, kindred.
Necron tier, metal bodies, yes. So now they're in the metal bodies, and all of the lower class have a strong feeling of it, and amongst the middle class it's varied, and then higher class it's not really, but eventually for some of them, as we'll come to see, they just kind of lose feeling. They just kind of lose all personality and turn into robots, essentially. Just living robots. Really depressing, but you know, it is what it is. You dummies. I get it that other people were dummies too, but that doesn't justify you being dummies. And we're gonna see a lot of that throughout this universe. So, alright, sorry, there's Doggo. I had help. Where did that shotgunner go? Oh, hello. So what was I explaining? Oh, fuck. What was I explaining? Got him. Alright, so that happened, and the Silent King, the High King, essentially, of the Necron tier, and this is actually the reason he became the Silent King, is because he felt so ashamed of what he did to his people. He exiled himself, essentially, from the universe, and has been going on adventures, essentially. Nobody really knows. Well, we now know, but we'll get there. Well, we half know. He's back, but like, you know, ambiguity. Frickin'. What are we talking? Necron. Sorry, you know, heat of battle shit. Fuck up. Yo, thank God that wasn't by me. Thank the Emperor. Sorry. Forgot Emperor. Alright. So, that's fine. Necron tier, obviously not happy with the Catan. I don't have time to deal with that now. So they fight what it was after called the War in Heaven for obvious reasons. With the old ones, because that is the craziest stuff you're gonna get in Warhammer, essentially, until if they try to one-up it, I suppose, eventually, but it would take a lot. So within this war, a few races are created to combat the Necron, because the Necron then start, because the old ones are also using the warp for faster than light travel and things of that nature, the Necron tier started using their Blackstone, another material that just they conveniently had. It's like sucky outcome as far as biology goes, but like geologically, damn, they got some of the craziest stuff. Because turns out this stuff repels the warp like to the max. It is the opposite of, or something to that effect. So they make pylons, that, and then place them strategically throughout the universe to just keep the warp from coming into real space and things of that nature.
Main station!
So,
Get back this way.
and then they just have amazing, just world-busting
Ammo!
level of
Precision
weaponry, both sides, obviously.
That's the range.
But the old ones, to help their cause a little bit and using their biological know-how, created a few races to help combat the Necron, or what would now be known as the Necron, formerly the Necron tier. Sorry, these names are very particular, and I know there's some people out there that are going to get very mad, which is fine, whatever. Again, I'm in the heat of battle. Necron tier, Necron. But yes, they made the Krork and the Eldar. One being a fungus that will spread almost infinitely, if not infinitely, and thrives off of combat and general brutishness. And war. Just war, I suppose, in general. The Eldar, on the other hand, are a more enlightened and psychically connected race.
Taking a shot.
So obviously attacking from both fronts. When they can't get any psychic connection, they send in the Krork to brute force their way through the barriers of that, and then send in the more finessed and composed Eldar to finish things up with their psychic empowered war engine, as it were. Now, this ends in the, do I say a stalemate? I suppose the old ones lost. Because the Necrons, seeing that they had pretty much just decimated the entirety of the known the entirety of the universe, went into a stasis, into their into their tomb worlds. See, I told you that would come in handy. And then wake up eventually when the universe would be populated with their subjects. The universe would be populated with their subjects. They should have known. They'd already experienced the Warhammer universe. It wasn't gonna be that easy. Because within the barren hellscape that the old ones had presumably went extinct in, obviously theories here and there, whatever, hearsay, heresy. The Necron tier lived. The Kantan were split into shards and other whatnot things by the Necron and placed on certain planets and things of that nature. And so, what do we have next after that? Ah, yes. So then the development of the Krork and the Eldar. So the Krork, didn't really develop. After all of that, there wasn't much of their... Where there was their race, it was delegated to very small areas and then kept very neat and clean by the Eldar. The Eldar kind of had free reign over the universe at this point. Which, good for them, because they arguably developed their society
Kill the
to
heretic in and leave him to rot.
the best utopia that has been in the 40k universe. And yes, there's been multiple utopias within the 40k universe, but you know, this is the 40k universe. Welcome to Warhammer. To have great horror and filth, you must have great beauty and prosperity. So, here we go. Sorry, kind of important here. Gandar? Arvid Gandar. Your name is Arvid Gandar, I swear. We're just gonna start coming at me with Alvin and the Chipmunks. Freaking Frodo. But yes, so the Eldar were all immortal because of their soul stones, so essentially their bodies were just like, they also inherited and learned from the old ones, but specifically to do it with the warp a lot. Kind of regenerate biological matter, kind of like you would. The warp just allowed them to mold biological matter in a way that you would like forge like metal. Which is where they get Wraithbone in the modern 40k universe and things like that. But they were able to do that just on a infinite level, essentially. They could literally think of anything and it would just be. So they were immortal. But obviously after a while of that, you could imagine they got bored more and more and more and more until essentially they well, most of their society was doing well, I suppose they were fun for them. Not, the Emperor would not approve of anything that most of their society was doing at the pinnacle of their society. And the moment of their downfall would come from that. So in their pinnacle, in this moment that most of their society is in, what scholars have described, because of our limited imagination and ability to understand what exactly that would look like, infinite murder orgy rave ? Something to that effect. Don't quote me on that either, but you can use your imagination. So within all of that, what did I get from that? Oh, that's good. Get it out of here. It actually led
What is
to...
your instruction?
Oh, sorry. Before we get to that even, there's an entire pantheon of Eldar gods that develop at this time, which is just warp shenanigans, we assume. But as obviously you could imagine at this point, yeah, just warp shenanigans. But there was a pantheon of Eldar gods. I'm gonna have to look up a list off the top of my head, and I do also have to pee here quick, but we're definitely gonna look at this stuff. Real quick. Are you kidding me, dog? Oof. Oof, go. this. I need, yeah, flamethrower. Where we at? Boom. Not good enough. Come on. Close. No. Come on. No way. Emperor, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? What's happening? What is happening right now, Emperor? It's not bad. C3's better. Don't hate 63. Come on. 77. That's what I'd like to see. Come on. I will come back for a bolter later, but we have enough to upgrade, I suppose. Let's see if we can't get anything cooking here.
I can improve your armaments if motivated.
Is that so? Oh, hell yeah.
A new marvel is
Hell yeah.
awoken. Our prayers have been answered.
Alright. 44. Alright. Digging it. See what you got.
The machine god is most generous. Praise the Omnissiah.
Alright. Big money, no whammies.
I trust you are pleased, Varlet.
Heck yeah. Not bad at all. Let's go look at you. Can I do this? Yeah, I can.
Our prayers have been answered.
This could be a fun one. I like that. I like that. Let's go. Let's go. Honestly, nah. So I need 299 for what the f- Is there different prices?
Look upon your weaponry
299.
with respect, for it is beloved of the Omnissiah.
298. What the f- Alright. So I need pretty much 300 each. Yeah, I need 600. Cool. Damn. Alright. What do I want first, though? Flamethrower. No, I think I want the melee weapon first, honestly. I don't trust people. I just have like a close range firearm like that. Like a pack. Hunting grounds. It's on the 4s. I think I did it. What the frick, dude? What the frick? Don't I have scriptures and grimoires, right? Sorry,
I have
lore
a good
here.
feeling about what comes
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it might work out.
Shut your mouth. Alright. Where are we at? Here we go. So, grimoires it is. I guess. Alright. still have to
You're
pee.
obsessed with the heretic problem.
That's fine.
I want you to help bring
Plane
it to
right
an
over.
end. There's an Aegis station in Enclave and Barros. It should get us a foothold. Cast out any heretics you encounter and wait for reinforcements. That's all.
This place looks soft.
This is no place for our kind until they need us.
My incomparable mind tires of this country.
You'll want to find the Skylink Bridge to reach Enclave and Barros.
Steel thyself.
Alright, let's get it. So, also, oh yeah, I need to look up a list of those gods. But essentially, much like any pantheon of gods, it's just a reflection of their own people. So we'll go into more depth on it. We're going to go into more depth on Eldari anyway. But just so you know, it's essentially just Space Elf Olympus going on over there.
Only way it's done. 78. The book dice.
I haven't killed anybody yet. Alright. Sorry, my throat is dry. I must quench my bloodthirst.
Heresy makes you cold, I see.
Tasty. Alright. Where was I? Eldar, yes. Downfall. So, at this point in the universe, roughly 10,000 years, Old Ones, War in Heaven, all that, and then roughly 10,000 years, Eldar. Well, the Eldar mistakenly, yes, but they're literally asking for it at this point. Especially because they're a very psychically connected race. And we're throughout all galaxies at this point. Oh my lord. Oh my lord, there's so many doggos. trying to get through the frickin' Eldar. Alright. So, up until this point, there's been 3 Chaos Gods. Khorne, Bloodlust, Rage, just general self-preservation, and Rawr, Smash, Hulk Smash, you know how it is. Nurgle, Entropy, the passage of time, decay, sickness, but also rebirth through death and all that good stuff. And Tzeentch, Changer of Ways. So that's just things changing. Wacky and wild things happening. That's Tzeentch. That's just Tzeentch. Or essentially magic. Like, if you want to look at it from a very fantasy setting kind of way, yeah, it's just he is the god of magic in a way. But he is the changer of ways. Is what is. But on this day, the Eldar created the 4th god of the Chaos Pantheon, as it were. The 4 great players in the great game. Slaanesh, the prince or princess, none really have a gender. Khorne and Nurgle, although are always referred to as males. Nurgle especially as Grandfather Nurgle. I have heard Slaanesh and Tzeentch referred to as both male or female. They would probably be apt for both of them, though. So Slaanesh is the chaos god of pleasures, senses, of like sensory. Like, if there is a sense, Slaanesh is trying to find a way to max it out. So, like, if that's music, if that's metal music, Slaanesh has the most metal music. That's going to give you a headache for a week. If that's, you having fun with your lady friend, she's going to literally blow your lady friend's head off with how much pleasure she's gonna, like, it's just taken to the nth degree, obviously, with everything. But senses, taste, greed, and then greed, like, just any way you can experience something. Slaanesh is into that. Because of all the things the Eldar did, obviously. And upon doing that also, the Chaos Gods kind of just had free reign, Slaanesh especially, and Slaanesh still claims all of the Eldari souls to this day, and that's a fun setup going on right now. But the Eldar Gods kind of just got exposed full nude to the frickin' Chaos Gods, and they just yoinked them at will. So Slaanesh ate a lot of them. I'm unaware if Tzeentch or Khorne did anything really, but I do know Nurgle yoinked Isha, question mark? Again, I need to look up, we'll look up these names later, and I can tell you for certain. But Isha is the healer of the Eldari, and so Nurgle uses her to... He makes a sickness, she cures the sickness, and then he makes a sickness that's worse than that, and that just perpetually goes on. And he does enjoy that game, because it just makes his sicknesses better. But there is a few Eldar Gods that did not get eaten. there's 2 off the top of my head. If there's more than that, they are. I am unaware of them at this moment, and I'm probably gonna be getting a lot of slack for that, but it's fine. But that is Kane, the Eldari war god, essentially the incarnation of the Eldari's rage, and Siagorach, the trickster god, who has arguably some of the most terrifying and most effective followers within the setting, depending on how you look at it. And especially depending on who's writing and the story. So, which is a big thing in 40k, to the point where it should just be a character in itself, just the plot armor, because it's gonna come out in force a lot, and you're gonna love seeing it. No, nobody called for that.
Hey, you lot stick with me, and I'll get you through this.
Nope, I'm
A
just
noble sentiment.
beating her in the back of the head.
Faith is all
Him?
the shield I
That was
need.
her, right? White hair? Yeah, that's her. Alright.
More like that, and we might win this war.
Cover grenade, heretics.
Ah, yes. So the Eldari then split into 3 different factions, because Slaanesh does have claim over all of their souls now. So this is just kind of the 3 ways they went about dealing with that. So the OG Eldari, the ones that just kind of stuck to their own ways, to their, and by that I mean just the OG Eldari way, not the whole debauchery way. Just kind of trying to better themselves in a very wholesome, family-friendly way. They stuck to their craft worlds and trying to preserve old technologies, things like that, and use soul stones now within like wells they also have for themselves, to keep their souls immortal and away from Slaanesh. Obviously sometimes these get smashed and souls are sent to Slaanesh, all that good stuff, but
Grenade!
the Dark Eldar, on the other hand, are the ones that did not get immediately eaten by Slaanesh, but were the ones that were like, yo, that stuff was kind of fun. And so instead of trying to be immortal any normal way, they, well, A, torture others to, because Slaanesh won't come after you if you're torturing for Slaanesh, right? That's a good logic. I mean, they ate all of our gods, so why shouldn't we, you know? I don't know. Dang, so many doggos. the Dark Eldar torture to keep their souls from being come after, but then they just they've kind of turned themselves into like Frankensteins, like the Doctor, not the monster. Well, and the monster, but they kind of Cronenberg themselves, things like that. A lot of body horror, things of that sort. And that's really how they stay immortal a lot.
Whatever ails ye, kindred.
Just a lot of not fun stuff going on over there. A lot of, not as bad, but trying to get as close to the old, very, very not bad, very, very not fun stuff from the heyday of Slaaneshi's birth.
I'm an bleak mood. Consider yourselves warned.
So,
Consider myself duly
oh, and also the Exodites, which were kind of the hippies during the whole Eldar Empire thing, and so they were like, yo, I think we're all getting distracted by all this warp stuff, and we need to get back to nature. So they do, I believe they do their whole soul thing through like trees and shit on like very specific planets. They also ride dinosaurs, which is dope. But yeah, they also, that's how those guys did that too. I hope they get more lore eventually, because they are really cool. Elves on dinosaurs, great idea, come on. Not just any dinosaurs, just space dinosaurs. Like, you kidding me? You kidding me? So yeah, I just... yeah, that's how they survive that. But, or sometimes not. Depressing, but true. Yoink. Oh, so after that, humanity kind of flourishes in that time period, and that's when actually it develops a lot like our actual history, to the point that we reach a zenith within another 10,000 years of AI. So we have, take every sci-fi where there's like a human utopia, whether that utopia be evil eventually or not, and just imagine that's all of society. So we just have like robots doing everything. It's just really nice, things like that. Just a sci-fi futuristic utopia again. Not as good as the Eldar, I guess, if we're comparing, but still a utopia. But eventually, and things get very iffy here because people are referred to as people of iron, people of gold, people of bronze, things of this nature. And the people of iron are obviously AI and robots and things like that. But that rebellion and the downfall of humanity essentially led to a dark age where humanity just was kind of seeded throughout the galaxy, but survived very few places, and where they did, it was very, usually I should say, very primitive and apocalyptic in a way. So, post-apocalyptic in a way, I should say. So,
I hope that pulpit's preacher died with his teeth in a heretic choke.
Everyone's got to be from somewhere.
where was I going with that? Oh yeah, humanity. So during the Dark Age, And I skipped over all of that really fast. Obviously, there's a lot there, but it doesn't really matter in the long run. Other than to say that we were in a really bad place, and now everybody kind of just innately does not like AI, or doesn't trust it, because, like, yo, it did that already, so.
Got an egg just for you!
Praise the God Emperor. We've killed
Got him.
the trap.
Good lord, it is hard to think doing that. I guess that's why I'm not the soldier, am I? Get the fuck out of there first.
To a mere soldier. Well, I suppose it could reverse.
Oi! There's nothing wrong with being a soldier.
This led to Holy Terra, as it's called in the verse, or Earth, essentially, being turned into like a Mad Max wasteland, and
Here! Catch this! Aim for the cracking egg!
so humanity's on the scene. We just went through a utopia, and now we're right back to like post-apocalyptic Mad Max on Earth. And the Emperor shows up. Our Holy Emperor shows up with the Thunder Warriors he had made, which were just essentially like the closest thing you could get to just like trying to irradiate people to make superheroes, and then using them as super soldiers. So like Judge Dredd, if you've ever seen that, things like that. Just super soldiers, and unified all of Earth again. And then perfected the whole super soldier thing into more of a concrete science, made the Space Marines, and massacred all of the Thunder Warriors, which is a fun time. You can look into that further if you would like, because the psyche of the Emperor is always hotly debated and interesting to say the least. I shouldn't say hotly debated. There's not many that disagree on certain fundamentals, just nuances here and there. But the Emperor then built legions of Space Marines, ran into the cult Mechanicum at the time. So the society that had developed on Mars during the isolation period was a humanity that worshipped machinery more than anything else. So the Mechanicum are humans that are almost like shamans in a way, but instead of a spiritual journey, it's a journey to transform more and more of themselves into a robot so they can retain more and more information and live for longer and longer. It's a fun time all around. And is framed very religiously because obviously it has to be. But they made a deal with the Emperor of Mankind, who a few thought was the Omnissiah, which is their, like, machine god or whatever. There's a whole thing going on there, too, with, like, different sects of the religion believing slightly different things, and all the interplay, because you know that fighting other things would just be too easy. We have to also fight each other for stupid reasons. a spoof going over here? You doing good? Good. Alright. But yeah, no. Shit. Where was I? Oh yeah, and then the Emperor takes the Space Marines out on a grand crusade of the galaxy to retake it, and that is the start of the Imperium and the later stages of the 30th millennium. And then that's just kind of a general gist of some of the background, because then we have to get into all of the details of the big players, especially the Imperium, because whether we all like it or not, we are human. Thus, the creators of this have based a lot of the stories around the humans of the setting, which awesome for a lot of us, but I can definitely see for some of, especially the people who don't like as much of the bleakness, I could see why and where you would get turned off. Shoot. But yeah, shoot. I didn't get anything for it. No, I did. Cool. Don't need it. But yeah, so we got up until that.
Here to serve.
And I have definitely learned. Oh, dang, this freaking. Ugh. Nice. Oh, but yeah. Shoot, I'm getting kind of hungry. I think I'm gonna. Oh, and stream a little short, I guess. I got through a lot of good chunk of the intro. I didn't give you too many details, but we'll go into more details on the Imperium and especially the creation of it next time we do this. I'm gonna have to pull some stuff up because I am stupid and need Spark Notes at the very least to keep me on track. As you can tell, I forget where I am even just. Ugh. This game is just really good, and we will get to where this is and why we're doing this eventually, if you're unaware.
Look at you. No style at all. Let's fix it.
Shut your mouth. Alright, but yeah, other than that, for those of you who do watch, thank you for watching. I don't know, subscribe, hit the bell thing. I don't know if that does anything even. But you know, we're making it happen. And we just gotta keep doing it. We just gotta keep making it happen. So, thank you everybody. Peace out for now.